Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar. It's currently dead in the middle of the night, and we are going back to a little bit of haunted gaming, ladies and gentlemen. I know that's a title some people have not heard in a while. Now, throughout my time on YouTube, I've done plenty of things, and haunted gaming was the beginning of it, where I would just read internet creepypastas and scary stories. But what really intrigued me was when I actually started covering stories with actual video game media attached to it. And, at the time it would be things like Ben Drowned. Very recently, like a couple weeks ago, we looked at the Mario creepypasta rabbit hole once again. But today I'm looking at the first haunted gaming episode I ever made, Pokemon Creepy Black. And I would say that this pretty much started the, first popular set of videos on my channel that pretty much brought me to where I am. So whether you're here because you watched me read creepypastas like years ago, you watched me browse the deep web every Sunday, or you watch me cover commentary stuff, internet topics, the interesting internet controversies that happen from time to time. I always feel like it's probably better for me to just keep on bringing a lot of the older content back, and I really want to commit to it. So in amongst covering some of the juicier internet stories that happen, it's always fun to go back and bring in the creepy stuff that I pretty much started my channel on. So this video is not for the new fans. This video is for the people that have stuck with me for the longest time ever. People that have been in my channel over 10 years ago, okay? So this one's for you, buckos. So sit back, relax, get yourself a drink in the middle of the night, and let's go back to the first creepypasta I ever read. So to give an idea of what my first video ever sounded like, this is an actual archive of the actual upload that I had, Pokemon Creepy Black. 7 minutes long, and if you can just hear it really quickly, listen to this one.
Focus on Pokemon Creepy Black. For those of you who don't know, this is allegedly a Pokemon cartridge or a Pokemon game where you, the player, are actually able to kill other Pokemon and play.
God, that little peek in action there. Yeah, this was recorded on a smartphone that I had, the HTC Surround. Yeah, I was a Windows Phone user, as sad as that one sounds. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that was the first actual popular creepypasta video. And the actual visuals was nothing more than just taking these screenshots I would find on the internet. Now, to give a reminder of what Pokemon Creepy Black is, this is the actual creepypasta right over here, ladies and gentlemen. The first one. So basically the idea was that this is a bootleg Pokemon game that existed, and somebody had found it, and effectively what had happened was, as they had played this game, it was actually a weird, creepy version where you could actually kill other Pokemon. Now, to give an idea of why I wanted to revisit this, apparently somebody back in 2021 actually ended up remaking and building this hack where it is entirely close to the creepypasta. In fact, if anything, it is exactly shot for shot what the story contains. And because this is a ROM hack, this means you can download this ROM hack, effectively copy it to a cartridge, and play it on actual Game Boy hardware. This is the Analog Pocket, so it's the FPGA, so close to actual hardware. But this hack recreates the game based on the famous Pokemon Black creepypasta as close as possible. The game is complete and every feature is implemented. So they actually recommend using an accurate emulator like a BGB, Gambat, Sameboy, or BizHawk. We're actually going to use Gambat, and they actually say not to use the very popular ones because there could be potentially emulator-related bugs because of the lack of accuracy. So again, looking into it, there were actually two comments, 2019 and 2020, that actually talked and said they would recommend this ROM hack. One person said that this was genuinely unsettling. I think every Pokemon fan everywhere has heard of the fabled Black version in some form. Yeah, it was, at the time, one of the most popular creepypastas to ever really exist. Admittedly, I didn't have great expectations going in. At first, I was a bit confused, so I had to look up the creepypasta before I realized that Ghost was in my team right after I picked Charmander. Would be remiss that I didn't mention a part of me laughing heartily. If you recall, there's a point in Mount Moon where you have to choose between the Helix fossil and Dome fossil. Thanks to Curse, I was able to do away with that trainer and claim both fossils. Yeah, you couldn't just kill Pokemon, you could actually kill the trainers themselves. If you haven't already, I'd recommend reading or listening to the creepypasta that it's based on. So when somebody said it's surprisingly accurate, they said, given the limitations of the Game Boy, I'm surprised this ROM hack is so faithful to the creepypasta. So everything is sounding like a glaringly awesome review. So let's actually look at the creepypasta and kind of read it through a little bit and build some jot notes of what we should expect out of this scary, creepy game story. So according to the actual creepypasta, I'm not going to do a full recreation. Basically, the actual author says, I'm what you'd call a collector of bootleg Pokemon games. Pokemon Diamond and Jade, Chaos Black. It's amazing what you'd find at pawn shops. And he's true, you'd find a lot of creepy ROM hacks. Not creepy ROM hacks, but you would find goofy stuff all the time at actual, at some of these flea markets. They're generally fun even if they're unplayable. The mistranslations and poor quality are what make them unintentionally humorous. So what they showed was a picture of the cartridge right here, this Pokemon cartridge. And they said if anyone recognizes it, unfortunately when I moved 2 years ago, I lost the game, so I can't provide you with screen caps. Typical. The game starts with the familiar, actual introduction. However, the press start screen had been altered. Red was there, but the Pokemon did not cycle through. It also said black version under the Pokemon logo. Upon selecting new game, the game started the Professor Oak speech, so everything seemed pretty similar. So as you picked your starter, you would have a new Pokemon named Ghost. The Pokemon was level 1, and it would have one attack known as Curse, with only one actual PP, one power move that you could use at all. So what would happen with the move Curse was that it would basically cut the screen to black. The cry of the defending Pokemon would be heard, but it was distorted, played at a much lower pitch than normal. The battle screen would then appear, and the defending Pokemon would be gone. If used in a battle against a trainer, when the Pokeballs representing their Pokemon would appear in the corner, they would have one fewer Pokeball, indicating that the Pokemon would have in fact died. So what's stranger is that defeating a trainer, you would see the money, you would get the victory, but then you would have the option to either run from the trainer or attack them. And if you ran, the trainer would just stay in the same place as the game normally would provide. But if you cursed the trainer, you ended up actually killing them, and the next time you go to that region, you would just see a tombstone. And in my playthrough, I actually did end up killing nearly every trainer that I could come across, truly proving that for the first time you can do a genocide % run in a Pokemon game. ROM hack, at least. So what we have to really note for is after you fight the Elite Four, so basically complete the game, you view the Hall of Fame, which consisted of a ghost and a couple of Pokemon I used for HMs. The screen cut to black, and a box appeared with the words, many years later. It then cut to Lavender Town. An old man was standing, looking at tombstones. You then realize that the man is your character. The man moved at only half the normal walking speed, and you no longer had any Pokemon, not even Ghost, who basically up at this point would have been impossible to remove from your player party. The overworld is entirely empty, no people, but there were still tombstones of actual players or NPCs that you had killed through your original playthrough. So you can go pretty much anywhere, though your movement is limited by the fact that you have no HM moves at all. And regardless of where you go, that music of Lavender Town is going to play all the way through. So basically the whole point of it is where you start. You have to make all the way back to Pallet Town, where you're literally going to cut the screen to black, and then you're going to see sprites of Pokemon that you have killed using the move Curse. So eventually what'll happen is you will basically go to a battle screen where your trainer sprite was now that of an old man, and what'll happen is Ghost will actually show up and will want to fight you. And since you can't do anything, you can't escape, you can't run, you can't use items, that fight will eventually have you losing to Ghost, meaning that the Pokemon effectively will kill you. And according to the author, while they played through this hack many times, and every time the game ended with the sequence, several times they didn't use Ghost at all. Though he was impossible to remove from the party in these cases, it did not show any Pokemon or trainer and simply cut to the climactic battle with Ghost. They're not sure what the motives were behind the creator of this hack. It wasn't widely distributed, so it was presumably not for monetary gain. However, it was very well done for a bootleg. So again, while this wasn't really a game back when this creepypasta was written, because of the sheer popularity, somebody actually created a proper ROM hack. One that we'll play right now. Now I want to remind you guys, because you actually have to go through the Elite Four, alright, I actually did play through the entire game, or at least I got to the Elite Four, just so we can actually experience this together without going through the whole introduction of the game. So yes, this involved me actually firing this up, loading this actual hack, black version, seeing no Pokemon whatsoever, and of course if I go to the continue you can see that I'm 20 hours in, but obviously that's me speeding up the game. So if you hear this level of audio breakery, it's because I'm speeding up the ROM. But here we're actually the Elite Four and I can show you what's in my party. So this is Ghost at the moment and everyone else is just an HM slave. So here I'm level 66 and number 000 on the decks. I've got Curse, and this is actually a proper Pokemon ROM, meaning that there's no ROM hack, there's no version of Game Maker Studio, there's nothing of that sort. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna start and face the Elite Four one by one. Basically, we have to get to the Hall of Fame computer and just see things at the end. So I'm gonna show you how we kill things first in this battle, and then I'll cut to the Hall of Fame computer. So here we got the first battle, Lorelei of the Elite Four. No one can beat me when it comes to icy Pokemon. Yeah, not when your Pokemon are about to die. Oh, she's got 5? Oh, we're about to have a 5-piece right here. We're about to ace the party. So here we got Ghost spawning in. So there we go. We've got, we can just go to fight. We can go to Curse. And if you hear, this is what it sounds like. So because it's a ROM hack, let's see how faithfully it's recreated. So you hear the actual cry of the defending Pokemon? And they're gone. Ghost gained 2,000 experience points. And there you see, she only has 4 Pokemon. She didn't even have like any fainted. They're all dead. So again, if you go through all of it, you can see that boom, boom, boom. We'll cut through her Jinx. We'll go through Lapras. And effectively, at the end of it, what'll happen is Lorelei will show up. And how dare you? Red got all my money. And if you want to save her, you can run. Or in my case, we're going to kill everything possible. So kill her with Curse, and boom, she does not exist anymore. So now if you go through the next area, and I think if you, oh no, we actually just go to the next fight. Oh, don't run away. All right, so I'm going to cut to the Elite Four. I'm going to go through all the Elite Four, and we're going to cut to the Hall of Fame computer. Oh, the last battle here. Now, one thing I will say is if you play this ROM hack, one thing you also have to understand is there are some protections. So because there are 2 trainers in the entire game that are actually pretty important to the story progression, one being your rival and the other one being Giovanni, you can't actually kill either of them until you get to the very end of their actual respective encounters. Just because if you decided to kill them and remove them from the game, it would just not, you would actually kill your progression. But I think there are ways to soft lock yourself if you kill certain NPCs, because getting to certain locations may be more difficult if you choose to go down this road. But we're just wiping off Lance's party here real quick. So he's gonna bring Dragonair. And I remember Lance back when I first played this as a kid. I used to think like, man, this guy is a badass. He wears a cape to the party. But you know, as you get older, wiping this guy, even without crazy easy mode hacks like this, is just easy. So here it is, Dragonair's getting out. And we've got Aerodactyl. All right, let's bring you into the party here. And I basically killed everyone in the Elite Four, so with Lance, there won't be an Elite Four anymore. We've got Aerodactyl, he's out. Dragonite. I will say, there is definitely an aura of creepiness playing this, because it feels like you're actually playing a real version of the game. And the fact that you're morbidly killing Pokemon is definitely not good. Go screwed up. Level 69. And we've got Lance. Lance says, "That's it! I hate to admit it, but you are a Pokemon master. Well, you're also very dead." And that leads us to the next area. So, this is where things are really going to be different. Oh no, we actually have to fight our trainer. Alright, and dead is out of the way. Alright, and all we need to do at this point is kill my actual rival. So I'm going to kill him, and boom, you can actually wipe him from here. So now we actually go to the actual Hall of Fame computer, and this is where things finally change. So here we've got the computer, and one thing that I'll do is just create a little save state in slot 4 right here, and we're just going to actually enter in. So boom, boom. We just enter in Ghost, so Ghost is over here. He's into the Hall of Fame. And just go through with that. And then, of course, I've got all my HM slaves. I've got Pidgey at level 16. Always good to have, always good to bring. Oddish, 13. Hitmonchan, 30. Hitmonlee at 30, and Goldeen at 15. So they say, you still have lots to do. Look for Pokemon in grassy areas. And this is when things start to change. So, many years later, here we go. All right, let's see. So, oh, it's still loading. Please tell me it did not freeze. Please tell me it did not record all this footage just to get to a point. Oh, here it is. So we've got my old man, and we definitely do move at half the speed. So if I open up red, you'll see that I've got no badges anymore. I've got just my actual regular portrait. Pokemon, I actually have nothing. No items. None of that. So I guess we'll actually start moving towards my house. Now, as we go towards the player's home location, according to the Creepypasta, the audio will become slower and more distorted until it becomes how the Creepypasta describes demonic. There it is, you actually heard it lose its pitch a little bit. So I believe the way back home, we have to go through Diglett Cave, which will allow us to get back to Pallet Town. So let's just kind of go. Let's make it happen. Oh, there's a grave of one of the trainers I ended up actually killing. You can see that right there. And of course, any trainer that you killed will just show up. So it is interesting how this ROM hack is done. Like, it's keeping track of everyone that you're killing. I wonder if you can actually destroy or crash the save file by killing just too much. I kind of was pretty sparing though. So here we're at this location. We are in one of the cities. I think this is Celadon. All right, so I've been kind of just bumbling all over the place, but here we're actually at Diglett's Cave. So let's go through here. And I haven't seen the actual pitch of the music change. Maybe it has like states where you have to like hit like certain checkpoints on your way back to Pallet Town where it'll actually start to really get messed up. But yeah, there is no encounters, no NPCs, the overworld is completely empty, and I won't lie, like, it's actually relatively unsettling, like, playing the game this way. And I think what really adds to the weird feeling is that this isn't some Game Maker game. And I'll play a portion of a Game Maker game, one of the best Pokemon Creepypasta type games that I ever played, and this is something I played like 10 years ago on the channel, that I think still holds up pretty well to this day, but this isn't something that's, I want to say, like, fan assets. This is like actually part of the original game. This is exactly what it would have been like had the Creepypasta story been true and that person actually had a ROM at a time. So here we're actually at Viridian Forest, so once we get through here, we'll be in Viridian Town, and then hopefully back at Pallet. But yeah, here's an example of another dead NPC trainer that I actually ended up killing. Again, it's an unsettling experience, man. Like, I won't lie. It is weird. I won't lie, man. The slow speed definitely sucks, but it's actually interesting how the old man that was here, that was basically already on his deathbed at the beginning of the game, that guy seems to have outlived me. But here it is. I wonder if we can go into any of these Pokemon centers and see anybody alive. So if we go in here, literally nobody at the Pokemon Center. The interaction with Nurse Joy doesn't work. Wow, you can actually like go right there. I kind of want to try that. Red turned on the computer. Bill's PC. Wait, do we actually have any Pokemon? Deposit, withdraw. Oh, there actually aren't. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, there really is not anything you can bring to the party. So, Red's PC, access item storage system, withdraw, nothing there, nothing to deposit. The Pokemon League. Yeah, they just have, it's literally just the Pokemon League right here. That's about it. So let me try saving the state. I don't want the game to completely crash here real quick, but I wonder if we can go into these locations. Oh, I thought you could actually go here and like transfer. Okay, no, those are inaccessible. Yeah, everything is completely inaccessible here. I wonder what the mart looks like. Not a single soul to play around with. It's so eerie. It's like the end of the world, like apocalyptic scenario must have happened to the point where like your main character is literally the only person alive, like some Death Stranding ass event. But you obviously can't go to the Elite Four because you have no HMs. But yeah, let's just go this way. I don't know why I'm choosing to avoid the tall grass. It's not like you're going to come across a Pokemon encounter. But here it is. And let's... So we're basically almost back in Pallet Town. It's just so weird. Okay, here it is. We're now back in town. We've got Dead's house. I mean, let's go. Let's see if there's a tombstone after we've killed my rival. Alright. Sister, nobody is here. Town map. Only one alive in the entire region of Kanto. Jesus. And then let's go check the Pokemon lab. What's weird is, like, I expect a Screamer almost, but I know I'm not gonna get it. It's just like, it's weird. Alright, let's go inside the first home, our home. So we have to touch the first actual pixel we started. It hasn't been working for years. Ooh. Crammed full of Pokemon books. Shit, dude. Mom has long been dead. Alright, here we're at. Computer. Oh, there it is. So these are inverted Pokemon sprites of everything that I've killed. So Sandshrew, Onyx, Caterpie. It's just gonna oh, the actual like Lavender Town theme is getting slower now. Oh, it just keeps getting slower. Oh my god. You know what it is? It's like the Metal Gear Solid 3 Sorrow fight, where like if you've basically been killing everyone in that entire game, it'll like actually punish you by making you go through an entire corridor of every single person that you've killed, which is really interesting. That's basically the equivalent of what's happening with this game. And as you can see, Lavender Town is completely like unrecognizable at this point. And we're just going through all the Pokemon that I've basically killed. Now, instead of sitting here for what's going to be an hour, we're just going to hold the turbo key and kind of move towards the end where it starts showing all the actual NPCs of people I've killed. And what's interesting is, like, guys, this game was keeping a track of every single person that I've killed up until this point. Every single NPC. Every single Pokemon. Jesus Christ. And eventually, we're going to get to the old Elite Four here. So I got Blaine, Giovanni right there. And that's scary. And here it is. Ghost wants to fight. I'm actually getting kind of chills right now. Ugh. So if we check items, got nothing. Got no Pokemon. Can't escape. Red use struggle. Ooh, hit with recoil. Ghost gives the ellipses. Hit with recoil. Hit with recoil. Hit with recoil. He will just not do anything but ellipses. I think subconsciously that's how I started titling every single video with ellipses at the end. It all started with Pokemon. Dude. It flatlined, bro. Ugh, that's kind of chilly. It's a little weird, dude. Huh. Oh, it killed the save file. It's all over. Wait, what if we go new game? Oh, we just start the brand new experience again. Oh my god. Well, I'll tell you right now, boys and girls, we actually ended up playing the first Creepypasta ROM hack that I ever talked about on this channel. It really feels like, honestly, what is my channel when it started? 2013? It really feels like damn near 11 years later, we've come actually full circle. Jesus Christ. Now, obviously, this is a pretty faithful Creepypasta ROM hack to the actual original story that popularized gaming creepypastas pretty much all over the internet. Now, most of the creepypasta community nowadays is fragmented and not as powerful as it really once was. Obviously, things have evolved to things like analog horror or really other aspects of creepy things on the internet. And that's really one of the reasons why I chose to evolve my channel to other things, just because, obviously, when I was reading creepypastas, I pretty much went through everything possible. And at some point, you just run out of stuff, and, at that point, things or series have naturally run its course. Now, because this is a ROM hack, obviously leave it to sites like eBay to basically be selling copies of this game out in public. So for instance, one user over here is selling the red hack with the creepypasta. Now this actual sticker you're seeing actually is bundled with the ROM hack. What the person did was they actually got a Pokemon, or not a Pokemon, but an actual black Game Boy cartridge and basically wrote the ROM to it. Now they're selling this for 16 euros, plus 8 euros shipping. Wouldn't really bother with that. You also got Pokemon Creepy Black version cartridge in case. $19.99 with $10 shipping. And again, if I go down over here, experience the thrill of the supernatural with Pokemon Creepy Black version for Game Boy Color. Shipped fast. Shipped from us. But again, also, AliExpress has it for 99 cents. 79% off. Now, do I recommend you purchase this? Absolutely not. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would recommend you just play around with a ROM hack, if anything. Obviously, make sure you back up your own actual Pokemon Red ROM. Probably should mention that for legal sake. But again, that is effectively the world of Pokemon Creepy Black. Now, obviously, Pokemon Creepy Black also had a Game Boy Advance version of a ROM hack, and this is something I recorded, again, 12 years ago, the Fire Red hack. Now, obviously, playing through this one, I actually went down as much as I can. It was not a ROM hack that I believe at the time was a completed ROM hack, and goddamn did I look like an absolute baby in this. But yeah, somebody had basically hacked as much as they could with the Fire Red, the remake of Red. Today, we actually ended up playing the original ROM hack. The original ROM, so to speak. I'm not even going to call it a ROM hack. Let's just pretend we played the original version of this game. Now, obviously, the world of Pokemon ROM hacks and creepypasta games didn't just stop there. One of the more obscure ones that I ended up actually playing on my channel, which we had to go through serious hunting on the internet for, was like Miss Fortune. But obviously, the other one that was also there was like Pokemon Lost Silver. And again, this is one that I highly recommend you play if given the option. This is somebody that's taking the actual like assets of Pokemon Red and not Pokemon Red and Blue, but Pokemon Gold and Silver, and actually creating like a proper creepypasta out of things like this. So using the Game Boy Game Maker, I think it's the Pokemon Essential assets for RPG Maker or Game Maker. People are actually able to create these intricate Pokemon creepypastas. Now, since the time of a lot of these creepypastas, obviously there's other, crazy stories like Ben Drowned, I believe, has a ROM hack. There's also Godzilla NES, one of the longest, it was actually like a novella of creepypastas. Like we're talking, there was a time where there was another channel called the Sticky Paddle, and they did something known as Creepy Gaming, where we actually collaborated with them on the actual Godzilla NES creepypasta. And the funny thing about it is at the time, it had a whole bunch of screenshots, but no actual game attached to it. Nowadays, even that story has a full playable game attached. And maybe it's one thing that we'll go down and look at as time goes on. But I really do want to kind of bring back haunted gaming in this capacity and cover stories from the internet like this that actually have these playable experiences. Because I really feel like once you're able to visualize it and experience something like this, it really changes it. So one of the first stories that I ever read on this channel, one of the first popular things that really put me onto YouTube and really helped build the community that we call Some Ordinary Gamers, I'm actually glad that we could come back after 10 years and experience it as a game rather than as just a story that I read. So I really wanted to revisit this, and especially when I saw that this actually existed as a game, I knew that I had to play it on my channel. And to be honest with you, one of the most humbling things is the amount of people that have come to this channel and have stayed. I can't thank you guys enough for the opportunity you've given me on this platform. And whether I've been reading creepypastas or browsing the deep web or playing weird games like this, or, commenting on the most interesting of stories on the internet and the wildest controversies, I'm glad that there are people that, will sit around and just enjoy and have a good time. And that's one of the things I like to do on my channel, is to make people have a good time and forget about problems that they've ever had in their day. And honestly, I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time out of your day to watch this channel. It really is a fucking really humbling feeling. And honestly, You know, for a lot of people that have, you know, basically said the last couple weeks, it's like, come on, Muda, let's not talk about that weird drama thing there. Let's go back to a creepypasta. This is for you guys, you know, one of the longest runners on this channel. This video's mostly for you guys. And for a lot of the new people who are like, whoa, what's a creepypasta? Well, hopefully you got some history on the channel that you recently started watching, or maybe you started watching a couple of years ago. And hopefully if you got interested in creepypastas by watching this video, then maybe it's time to go back to some of the greats. Maybe it's time to check out the Some Ordinary Gamers wiki, the Some Ordinary wiki, which I think is still actually active, and read a couple of these spooky stories for yourself, hopefully at night with the lights off and a good cup of coffee. But ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.